What is up, BookTube? It's Monty, and I'm here today to talk to you about one of my favorite reads of the year, and that is Steel Crow Saga by Paul Kruger. And this story focuses on all Asian characters in a very Asian setting, and I loved it. I loved it a lot. Now, I want to get it. This is the only negative that I have to say about this book, and it's not even about the book. It is more about the marketing. I think that Fonda League really kicked it off up here with her blurb, where they compare it to Pokemon. And I don't really get any kind of Pokemon vibe from this at all. I mean, yes, there are, like, companions, but these are, like, intimately connected to, like, the soul thing. Their soul companions are intimately connected to the humans, which with they are pacted. And Pokemon, like, Game Freak won't even admit that they're sentient. So it's not Pokemon, but it is very much Avatar. More, I think I said this in my October TBR, more Korra vibes than the original series vibes. This very much takes place with characters in a setting that has passed an industrial revolution. They are very much technologically, I don't want to say super advanced, because I do think that like a cell phone or a laptop or a computer popping up would feel kind of anachronistic, but trains, cars, airplanes, movies, all of that stuff feels very real to this. Trains make an appearance, cars make an appearance, movies are mentioned. All of that kind of a thing. So the Steel Crow Saga is told from 4 perspectives. There's an occasional 5th perspective, but the bulk of the story is told in 4 perspectives. I don't want to butcher any characters' names, so I'm gonna review a book without mentioning character names. How terrible is that? Okay, I guess the other negative, I would have loved a glossary so I could pronounce their names. I don't need a glossary for anything else in the book, but the character names might have been nice. But we follow 4 characters, and for the first, I would say like 200-ish pages, it takes about 200 pages, closer to 3 for all 4 of them to connect. But they're sets of 2, so the princess and the thief are together. They have a storyline where they're trying to stop the prince and the army, like the sergeant, from getting to their destination. And so for the first 200 pages, like that's kind of the thing that's happening. Like that's the main goal of the story. And then after that, and they do that, there's like one moment really where all 4 of them have like a common goal situation, and they're going for that goal. And then at the end, they kind of, I don't want to say go their separate ways, but again, they almost kind of diverge a little. And it's beautiful. I don't think this book is for everybody. This is like the least fantastical fantasy that I've ever read. I mean, there are definitely fantasy elements, and they are definitely important to the story. Their shadow-pacted companion, all of that plays a part in the role in the story. The metal, I don't say it's like bending, but the metal pacting, the steel pacting is an important part of the story. That's one of the fantastical elements. But I don't think that it overpowers anything, and I don't think it takes away from the character moments or the cultural moments or the dynamics between characters. I do think that the character dynamics and the interplay between them is almost more important to the story than the fantasy elements. And coming from a contemporary reader, character dynamics is what I'm all about. I also don't think that there's much of a plot. In the sense that there is no, like, super evil manifestation of evil that we're going against, right? I think that the story, it starts almost in this, I don't want to say it's pre-war. I don't think the prologue is pre-war, but the main story is post-war, so we're thrown into this world kind of after they've had this huge conflict, right? And they're I don't want to say rebuilding, but they're about to start rebuilding. And the tensions are still somewhat high, and we're just with these characters on this one moment to get to this place, and it was really great. It was great. I know this is super vague, but it was so good. Like it was everything I didn't know I needed. But again, because there is no real manifestation of evil that we're up against fighting, this is almost like post that, and even then it wasn't even like a huge manifestation of evil. I think Paul Kruger tries to include one of those. There is a character that is definitely an antagonistic force. Paul Kruger does try to include a character that is kind of the manifestation of evil, that is definitely very powerful. You'll know this character when you meet them. They show up like 50-ish pages into the story. They aren't a huge part of the story. They show up like one other time for a nice third act battle sequence, but definitely not the main focus. Definitely not some, like, it's definitely on the characters' minds that know about this person, but, and they are hinted at one more time before the final act battle. But again, like, this isn't like a we're on a quest to defeat Voldemort, to destroy a ring situation. It very much is two characters trying to get to a place, the other two perspectives trying to stop that from happening. But even that isn't like super intense. Both perspectives, so both sets of two characters, have a almost hate to love situation going on with them that I thought was done beautifully. Particularly the Princess and the Thief, that loved it. There's also some casual trans representation. Loved that. Loved it. Was I wasn't expecting it, and it was there. The Prince character is not fully straight, so we support him and his labeling. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and I think if you're a fan of characters, you're gonna be a fan of this book, because those moments and those dynamics are really great. And there is like an end goal. It's not completely plotless, but it's not what I think the typical fantasy plot would be, I guess. So overall, I can't recommend Steel Crow Saga more. I loved it. It's definitely one of my favorite reads of the year, and I look forward to talking about it with you guys down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another video, but until then, bye.